Yes?
Change, please.
Change? What change?
10p change.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2.
How about you come in?
Damn cheap. I should have told him where to go.
But you can't always expect a tip, Des. It's a bit presumptuous.
Presumptuous. You learning big words now, Tony?
Wicked cut, Tom. You're the man.
No, you're the man.
No. You're the man.
I'm telling you, man, you're the man.
You're the man.
Cheers, mate.
Change, my man.
Hey,
Look, don't start that stupidness again. Out. Get out. You call that a haircut? It looked like the map of Peckham to me.
Desmond,
What?
I think it's about time you started treating me with a bit more respect, please.
I beg your pardon?
But it's just that sometimes, Desmond, you talk to me like I'm still at school, like I'm a boy.
But that's because you are a boy.
No, I'm not.
Look, as long as I'm 30 years older than you, you're a boy to me.
As a graduate in business management, may I say it really doesn't pay to be rude to your staff.
And I don't pay you to sit here, so mind your own business.
If I were you, Matthew, I won't let him talk to me like that.
Can't you at least try to be a bit more polite?
More polite, not when I'm surrounded by nosy parkers like you can't keep the opinions to themselves.
I'm only trying to contribute to a bit more peaceful atmosphere.
You hear me asking for any contributions?
Didn't your parents teach you manners? Didn't they give you any home training? Back home in the Gambia, my father would take his shoe and conk me on my forehead for unnecessary reasons.
What? You gonna conk me?
Listen, to encourage your growth as an adult, yes!
It's all right, Matthew. It's all right. This is between Desmond and me, right?
For the moment, you have escaped the conk.
Desmond, I just think that you should stop treating me like that.
Look, you work here and you do as you're told. And if I want to treat you as a boy, you have to accept it.
But the man is a grown man.
Well, you could have fooled me.
Look, Desmond, I've been here 4 years now, and I trained for 2 years before that. Everyone in this shop treats me well, except you. And I think that basically, you don't appreciate me, and I think it's about time things changed.
Tony, are you drunk?
Do I look drunk?
Well,
I think you should listen to the man. He has a point.
what point is that?
It's time for change, Desmond.
Change. Oh, you want change? There you go. 1, 2. Tony, if this is your idea of asking for a raise, the answer in one word is no. No. No.
I'm leaving.
Come here, Tony. Right. What's the problem?
Tony merely tried to explain the frustrations of working for a despotic dictator who engages his big mouth before operating his brain.
Desmond,
Yes, my dear.
I will not have you patronizing a much-loved, committed, hard-working, loyal member of staff. Apologize.
I am so sorry.
Listen, I know what y'all like when I'm not here, you know. I just got to leave the shop for 5 minutes, and y'all squabbling like a yard full of turkeys. While I'm away, I want y'all to try pulling together, keep the shop running smoothly. We cannot afford to be rude to each other. Is that clear, Desmond?
Oh, yes, sure.
Right, that'll be Lee now. Okay, you've got the number to college. You know where to find me.
What is it you're going to do again?
I'm going to lecture about hair care.
Hair care. Desmond could do with a lecture in people care.
So, look, I don't want to rush you, right? But I've got the hood down and there's this pigeon circling.
Okay. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, enjoy your eating, Shirley.
Thank you.
You stupid pigeon.
Right.
Right, what?
Well, I think that 4 years loyal service deserves to be rewarded, Desmond.
Okay, how much?
Oh, I don't want your money.
No?
No.
Oh, good.
I think that at times like this, there should be a proper hierarchy of responsibility in the shop.
You what?
I mean, as Shirley's away, in the event of anything happening to you, not that anything will happen to you, but just in case it does, I think I should be made assistant manager.
Assistant manager? Are you crazy?
No, I'm not. I'm absolutely serious. And if you can't agree to that, I'm leaving.
Go there, Tony.
Tom, I need an urgent car. Right, mate, sit down. Des will be down in a sec. I don't know, old folky. Are you all right, Des?
Yes, I'm fine. What kind of haircut do you like, young man? Deluxe, super deluxe, or dreadlocks?
Desmond.
What is it?
Well, you see, he's not actually...
Well, spit it out.
Well, he's not actually waiting for you. He's waiting for me.
For you. Look, boy, this is my chair. Get out.
Hey, no, man, sit down, sit down. I can cut his hair as I finish off here, Desmond.
What is this? This is my chair. I've always had this chair. I bought it 20 years ago from my cousin, Herbert Washington Wilson. You know, Louis Saxmo Armstrong had a haircut in that chair. I remember it well. It was summer. He walked in the shop. He looked straight in my eye and he said to me, Desmond, what a wonderful world. Oh, yeah.
story.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember anything.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Anyway, this is my chair. Only customers of Dead Zone Ambrose are supposed to sit in it.
Oh, I'm sorry, Desmond, but as assistant manager...
Since when?
Since you got promoted.
Does this involve more money?
No, actually...
Oh, fine.
So, Desmond, as assistant manager, it is my duty to advise you that you're not being very practical here. You very rarely have customers at this time of day, and if we ask my client to go elsewhere, we will lose money. And besides which, your cold's a bit of a health hazard.
Are you trying to take over my shop?
I think he has a point, Father. And where are the books?
Look, man, you turning my own son against me.
Look, I'm not turning against you, Father. All I'm saying is your assistant manager seems to be on the right track.
Yes. Tony is applying his economic intuition to a situation where a high rate of profit has been hitherto and realized. In short, Tony has identified the means of earning a trailer load of money.
All right. You want to use my chair? Go ahead.
All right, man.
I can't see the job. Right, I'm off to Fat Larry's.
Good. A butcher's the right place for a meathead. I forgot to tell you, Tony. Only Desmond Ambrose knows how to use that chair.
I don't think it's very funny, Desmond.
Well, surely you can take a joke, Tony.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. These chairs should be overhauled.
I agree.
And I agree too. I'll dock it from your wages.
Look, Desmond, I think that in Shirley's absence, you should consider the opinion of your assistant manager and your fellow partner, and if they are in agreement, you should abide by their decision.
Look, man, this is my place and I'm doing it as I please.
But you're sick, Desmond.
Sick? I'm not sick.
Father, maybe you ought to take a rest for a while.
Your disease may be communicable.
Hey, Desmond, I don't want your germs.
Look, this is my shop, and in my shop I can say I'm fit to work or not, and I feel fine.
But, Father, you have to consider the welfare of the shop. If you contaminate everyone, there won't be a Desmond's.
There's an old African saying. Herbs and sweets spread diseases.
That's not African.
Popeye, everything is African.
Okay. I get it. You don't want me.
Oh, Desmond, it's not that we don't want you. We're just all thinking of your well-being.
Look, we want you fit and strong so you can run the shop efficiently.
Well, maybe you're right. A rest might do me good. But, just for a few days.
How about 6 months?
What?
Nothing.
I hope those aren't obligatory because I wouldn't be seen dead wearing one.
Does Desmond know about this?
It's a surprise.
If I had 2 of those in my flat, I could cut down my electricity bill.
Then add the ambience. It's all part of my plan.
What plan?
Don't worry, nothing drastic.
I hear Desmond have a communicability disease.
He's got a cold, Bev.
That's what you may think. It may look like a cold, but it could be swine fever.
Oh, for goodness sake, Bev.
Mock you may. He have a chesty cough.
Yes.
Blocked nose.
Yes.
Streaming eyes.
Yeah.
Swine fever.
How did you come to that conclusion, Bev?
I heard it on the radio. Hundreds came down with what they thought was a common cold. But after going to hospital, they did some tests and they all had swine fever.
Do you think I should call a doctor?
Oh, wait a minute, Lee. Beverly, when was this?
1965.
You nearly had me bad for a minute there.
You can't be too careful.
No. Quite recently, there was a case of someone who thought he had a cold, but it later turned out to be a particularly fatal strain of influenza.
You mean flu can kill you?
Apparently. It's highly contagious, and as far as I know, that man is near death. Not that I want to alarm you.
How's it spread?
Well, the carrier only has to sneeze, and any individual within 100 yards is at risk.
Hello, good day, everybody. Just come to collect the books.
Since when have you been interested in the accounts?
Since you become interested in fashion design.
Terrific. Half my clients gone.
They were running for their lives.
Look, Beverly, Desmond hasn't got influenza or swine fever. She's just overreacting, isn't she, Matthew?
Look, you're all being over the top, right? Des has got a mild dose of a common cold, okay?
Lost all your customers, Aaron. I'm not surprised wearing them stupid shirts. How's it going?
Fine, just fine. We're expecting more people later.
Is that so? And how are you doing over here?
Cheers, mate. Oh, and your free Desmond's t-shirt.
Thanks a lot.
All right, boss.
Here you go, Tom. Last 2 boxes, mate.
Oh, cheers, Lee.
Oh, absolutely cream cracker. Come on.
Oh, pork pie. Can't you eat your lunch at home?
Look, that was new customers. Yeah, some of them can't take a hint.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Full house.
You sure you're not overdoing it?
No, of course not. This is just what Desmond needs.
Oh, these new customers.
What about them?
They're in our seats.
Well, they're not exactly your seats now, are they, Pork Pie?
I know they're not my seats, but we sit in them.
That's true, Tone. We do.
The seats are for paying customers. Are you having a cut?
No,
Exactly.
Tony, I have work to do.
You try going down the library, Matt.
Oh, look, Tone, we just want our seats back, mate.
Are you having a cut then, Lee?
No, not today, but we're regulars. We got rights.
Rights over what?
Right to our seats. They belong to us.
I'm sorry, Pork Pie, but as assistant manager, I've had to come to a decision about this. And as far as I'm concerned, paying customers come first. We need all the new clients we can get.
What about loyalty, mate?
Yes, I've been coming here for years.
And I've been coming here since before you were born.
Look, Pork Pie, this isn't personal, it's business. If you're not having a cut, you're not entitled to a seat, OK?
Tony, I feel both insulted and degraded by your statement. And if you attempt to eject me from the shop, I shall begin a sitting protest in the tradition of Martin Luther King and Mahatma Gandhi.
Steady on. Steady on.
It's a non-violent protest.
What seems to be the problem?
I'm just trying to make everyone understand, Michael, that I want to run this shop professionally.
That sounds excellent to me, Tony.
Well, if that's how you feel, you won't have to ask us to leave. You shall walk out with our dignity intact.
Yeah, we know when we're not wanted.
Come on, Matthew.
Come on, Matt.
Hello?
Hello, Desmond. You feeling any better?
No. Shirley, when you coming home?
Your cold getting you down.
No, it's not the cold, it's Beverly. What's she doing there? I don't know. Since 6 o'clock this morning, she's been in the kitchen. I don't know what she's doing. All I can smell is bush tea and camphorated ice.
Oh, that's nice. So she's looking after you then?
No, she's not looking after me. She's trying to kill me.
Seriously? Don't worry. Shirley, is that you? I'll have Desmond up and running in no time. Running? Running where?
She's trying to poison me.
Shirley, just leave Desmond Ambrose to me.
What nastiness is that?
These remedies were passed down to me by my grandmother's mother.
But she's dead and I'm alive.
The day she died, she looked better than you. Don't ever try and question me, Desmond Ambrose. You're in my care now. No, take off your pajama top. It's time for me to rub your dog. But stop. This fight you fighting me? Desmond, just let me get hold of it. Come on, come. Oh, I have it.
Let it go.
I wonder what that is. I don't care if you try and stop me or not. I am going to pull it off.
Desmond, I am shocked.
The moment Shirley's back is turned.
Result!
Just get this blasting woman off of me.
I promised Charlie to look after you.
Beverly don't want any rub-downs.
No, what you need is a good wash out. You want some Cersei tea, fever grass, Kananga water?
Desmond, you have to come back.
No, I'm not coming back to a place where no hand wanted.
Oh, come on, Des. The shop needs you.
Well, just the other day you were saying I was too sick to walk. I look well to you.
It's just a cold, Desmond.
Well, last week it was swine fever.
Oh, you know what Bev's like, Des.
I've got an announcement to make. Since I've been upstairs, I've been thinking. The shop's been going a long time, and I think it's time I had a rest. I mean, this illness has shown me there's more to life than Desmond's.
Desmond, what are you saying?
And I'm saying that I'm thinking of returning back home.
No, Desmond, you can't.
No, my mind's made up. As far as I'm concerned, you could call the shop Tony's.
That would be the end of an era.
Well, so be it. I mean, even Shirley has said that someday the shutters will have to come down.
But Desmond, what am I going to do without you?
Life goes on, my friend.
Des, we need you. Beckham needs you. England needs you.
No, I've made up my mind.
The shop is going to close. Desmond is dying. Your parents are going back home, and it's all your fault.
Look, Des is leaving, mate.
Peckham will never be the same.
Look, I'm sure Father's just a bit overwrought. He'll come to his senses as soon as Mother gets back.
But Tony is depriving us of our heritage.
But Tony is thinking like a businessman. It should be commended.
Yeah, listen, guys, I know. I'm sorry. I'm all alone today, and it's, oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about this, Peter. You're right there. Michael,
Hello, Tony.
what brings you in so early?
Client cancelled, so I thought I'd come over and see how things are going.
Oh, right, Shake, was it? Sorry.
Tony, where are the books?
Yeah, I was meaning to tell you about that. A mate of mine's got them. No, don't worry, he's a qualified accountant.
Tony, what's your mate doing with the books?
Well, you see, I was thinking that having a partner that's also the company accountant represents a possible conflict of interest, so I decided that they should be done by an outside independent company.
What it? So why you turn mine no?
Come in.
Hello, Father.
What is it, Michael?
I think Tony could do with some help.
Well, you didn't think so before.
We only suggested you take a rest, Father.
You could have fooled me.
Look, I know you've made your mind up, but there's really no need to retire. Let's face it, Desmond's could never be Desmond's without Desmond. The shop needs you, Father.
You think so?
I know so.
You want me back?
Yes, we all do.
On one condition.
Anything.
Say please.
Please.
Pretty please.
Pretty please.
Pretty please, Daddy.
I don't call you Daddy anymore. Pretty please, Daddy. Satisfied?
Yes. Oh, there's one more thing.
What?
You remember that time when you were running around the dressing table and you said it fell down of its own accord?
I was 8 years old.
Did it fall or was it pushed?
I pushed it, okay?
Say sorry.
Look, this is ridiculous. I'm sorry about the dressing table, all right? All right?
All right.
Does this mean that you're coming back?
Well, I'll have to think about it.
Oh, for crying out loud, Father. I'm sorry, I mean Daddy.
Of course I'm coming back. It's my shop, isn't it, you stupid boy?
Hello, everybody.
Welcome back, my dear. It's nice to see you.
So, Shirley, how was the lecturing? I hope your students were all as dedicated as me.
I hope all your students weren't as old as him.
The students were great. The course was very well organized. My hotel was fabulous. I even had my own jacuzzi. But it wasn't home.
Well, home wasn't home without you.
Right, so I see the shop got on well without me. Oh, by the way, Tony, congratulations on your promotion. Lee has told me everything.
Yeah, everything went well. Despite Des being ill upstairs, we all pulled together.
In opposite directions.
The shop was really busy. We were rammed.
Yeah, standing room only.
Oh, we didn't mind standing.
So, Tony, you were in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah. And y'all supported Tony.
Yes.
And y'all behaved.
Oh, yeah.
So, you thanked Tony, Desmond?
Thank you, Tony.
Don't mention it.
Shirley, I saw you in Lee's car, but I couldn't quite keep up.
Tell her I am sick. I'm well. I'm cured.
I haven't lost my touch. Oh, Beverly, I can't thank you enough for looking after Desmond.
He tried to resist the healing powers, but he finally succumbed.
You know, somebody at the college was telling me about this new killer strain of influenza. Apparently, the symptoms are similar to the common cold.
Really?
You know what you need, Tony?